Our friend Eric Byrnes, nofilter.net, and he's going to be there as things unfold in Oakland tonight with the reverse boycott, as many fans are heading to the stadium. No, when I say there, he's going to be on No Filter, not at the game. Yeah, that probably came out incorrectly. But yeah, go to nofilter.net. Eric will be there as things unfold tonight with the A's, and Eric joins us now. How are you, Eric? What's cooking, man?
Oh, good, dude. Yeah. I mean, I thought about going down to the Coliseum. We actually got a whole crew of dudes that are heading out there that are part of our Let Them Play travel ball organization. So we're going to be well represented. And as soon as I go on at about 6:30, one of my assistant coaches and like a handful of players are going to be my boots on the ground correspondents live from the Concrete Toilet Bowl in Oakland, just kind of taking in the whole scene and everything. But I think this is super cool. It really is to see A's fans unite like this in such a kind of weird time.
Concrete Toilet Bowl, yet a place that I know that you loved when you played there, and the A's fans certainly loved you. What are your feelings knowing that the Vegas move appears to be more likely now than it was even 24 hours ago?
You know what, Dibs? Like, I have mixed feelings on all of it because, dude, you and I were there when it was the early 2000s and they were doing everything they can to try to push a vote through to get the proper politicians and ducks in the row to be able to build a new stadium in Oakland. And here we are 20 freaking years later, and nothing's happened. And so the only thing that I can say is that it's incompetency at its best when it comes to just getting something done. And I'm over who's responsible. I don't really care anymore. I just know that it's embarrassing for the organization. The organization's better than that. The fan base is better than that. They deserve better than that. And it's not just a knock on the Coliseum. Of course not. I mean, we spent many a night, like, I have some of my best memories in my life, like, not even just like my athletic career, we're spent at the Coliseum. But at the same time, it's what they've let it become. And without any of the modern day upgrades or anything else, it's just, if it's this old house, and, you know, look, Fenway did it, Wrigley did it, they continue to preserve, even old Yankee Stadium did it. But when you let it go the way they have, and it's not conducive for a major league environment, more than anything, it becomes sad. And, you know, when I first heard the news of Vegas, my initial thought was, holy crap, man, like, I probably have a better shot of hopping on a flight and 45 minutes later I'm in Vegas and going to a batting practice in an A's game, and then, of course, you know, hitting up like STK or something at the Cosmo, and then spending the night on the craps table. Like, that sounds more realistic than me hopping in my car and heading, you know, to the Coliseum at this point. And so, as sad as that is, it's the truth, it's reality. And you know, if Oakland, I would prefer to see them stay in Oakland. But the stadium, obviously, they've proven that they're incapable of making that happen. And so if that's the case, it's onward and upward.
Hey, Eric, take us into the mind of the player tonight. These guys have been playing in front of 2,000 and 3,000 all year, and now there's going to be 25, maybe 30,000. What's that going to be like for them?
Especially coming on the heels of 6 consecutive victories. I mean, think about this, guys. They were 12 and 50. 12 and 50. So now they're 18 and 50. And they're still playing what's considered the best team in baseball. So they're going to be up against it a little bit. But these dudes are going to be juiced. I got to believe that they're going to go out there and they're riding a high, and winning is obviously contagious, as they've proven. And they have some exciting pieces, right? Like, I mean, Rooker's been good all year. Ruiz is a savage on the base pass. Like, they have some things, and Laureano's, he's always been entertaining to watch play. Noda's been pretty good. So there's things that you can look at with this team and actually be excited about. Mark Kasse is the one, and I don't know if feel bad is the right word, but he's the one that I've looked at in this situation because he was set up for failure from the get-go, at least from a wins-loss perspective. And so long as, they continue to understand that, this is the hand that he's been dealt and give him an opportunity to manage at the big league level, I think he's going to be a fantastic manager. It's just, it'd be nice to see him have something that he could actually do something with. It's just when you're running guys out there with 11 ERAs every night, it's tough. It's tough to win baseball games. Simple as that.
And how frustrating would it be as a player to know that fans don't show up and the team around you is probably going to lose more games than it wins? Would that make it tough for you? Even a guy who gets up for, a cup of coffee, there's nothing you don't get up for, but would it be tough for you to get up for that night in and night out knowing that the support just isn't there?
No. Dibs are playing for millions of dollars. And that's all they need. I hate to say it, but it's the reality of the situation. It is these guys, whether they're playing for the A's or they're playing for the New York Yankees, it doesn't matter. Every single at-bat, every single hit, every single extra base hit, every single play they make in the field, every inning they play, all of this is getting documented. It's all going on the back of the baseball card, and they can take all of these numbers into free agency and arbitration with them. I think that naturally they'll get a boost on a night like this, but I bet you these guys are pretty immune to playing in front of small crowds, and they've just gotten used to it, which is, it kind of sucks for them because, I'm sure they get excited when they go play on the road and they get to play in front of packed houses. I was looking at it. I think there's like a handful of games this year. They've had under 2,000.
Oh, yeah.
Under 2,000.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have one Savannah Banana game when I was managing the Bananas last year on the World Tour that was under 5. So to think about that and put that into perspective, like this is a major league team. And not only that, it's not just the A's either. And that was always a tough thing because when we were having those fantastic years in the early 2000s, and you're looking across the bay and they're putting 40,000 people in the seats every single night. And we had 12,000, which was sort of, and that was the consistent number that we would get. And I don't know what we ended up averaging. Maybe one of the years it was closer to 20, but it was, and then we play the Giants and we get 55. And then, but this is the greatest thing about A's fans is that when we went on that streak and that 20-game win streak on the Moneyball team, there were 55,000 people there that night. And that just goes to show you that if you build it, they will come. And the fans are all there. They're in, whether they're South Bay or East Bay, Peninsula and City's pretty locked into the Giants. But, there's a whole, gigantic area. And that's why the Giants were so possessive over San Jose, is because they were trying to battle for those fans, right? But I think overall with the A's, it's the fan base will always be there, and they were in Philadelphia, they were in Kansas City. I remember going to some of these cities, especially Philadelphia, and there was like A's fans in Philadelphia who it was like their great grandfather who then their grandfather was the A's fan. And then it was a father was the A's fan. Now they're A's fans, and they're still in Philadelphia. So I remember that. Like this organization, the class organization, they've always done a fantastic job when it comes to building baseball players and putting these guys in position to succeed. So the organization will continue on and be a quality organization regardless of what city they play in.
Eric Byrnes is with us here on Willard and Dibs 95.7 The Game, and we got more questions. I don't want to get too off track, but you mentioned the Bananas, and I want to ask you why did you ruin them, Eric? You made them way too popular. I wanted to take my son to see them later this year, and tickets are like $1 billion. Like what'd you do, Eric? You made it too popular.
Mark, it's a joke, dude. It really is. It's so bad. When we started this, you could tell that it was gaining traction, but then after the quote-unquote world tour last year, and even as we were in the midst of it, it just continued to gain steam against him. And you look at like whether it's the Ticketmaster, StubHub, SeatGeek, whatever it is, and you're seeing tickets for hundreds of dollars. And I feel terrible because I can't tell you how many people that I've had to turn down for tickets, where people are blowing my phone up saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, not just in the Bay Area, where San Jose's it's going to be one of the toughest tickets there is."
Yes,
because it's so small. Like, they don't play in these venues anymore. We used to play in those venues when we were first getting going, where you play in somewhere where like Savannah is only supposed to hold like 4,000. I swear they jam like 6 in there every single night. But it's when it's small like that and the demand is high in the Bay Area. You go to a big city. There's no doubt in my mind. I think the Giants would probably tell you the same thing. I think they could sell out Oracle Park. I know they can.
Oh yeah.
But Jesse, the owner, he has a plan on how he wants to build it up, and he wants to create this crazy demand. And part of the Banana experience is having the intimate atmosphere and having the sold out crowds. He won't even open a gate if he thinks the line's not long enough yet, because everything's open seating. So we have a parade before we open the gates. There was one time, I was last year in Kansas City, actually, and this was in the Banana Land documentary. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's pretty funny. I think it's like a 6-part series. But the fans got so antsy that they broke the gate down.
Huh.
Yeah, exactly. And then they started rushing in, and then there was this mass holdup of, stop them. And then it's just like, dude, just let them go. But it's all part of the process. So yeah, they've had an incredible amount of success, and it just goes to show you when you put fans first and you have that concept and idea of entertaining the fans and making them a part of everything, and giving them a glove and say, "Hey, catch a foul ball and the batter's out." I mean, it's a total game changer. It's literally it's making baseball fun.
Got it. So you're saying you can't get me tickets. Good to know. All right. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on Twitch, YouTube, and the free Odyssey app.
And with Eric Byrnes here and a little baseball roundtable, I'm sure you saw this. Stanford pitcher Quinn Matthews threw 156 pitches, a career high, to keep his team alive in the College World Series. You're a youth baseball coach, and I know we're talking about a 22-year-old here, but what'd you think about a pitcher throwing 156 pitches, Eric?
I thought it was moronic, but I also thought that, man, look, if the guy said he's not coming out of the game, he's not coming out of the game. It is somewhat of, the coach is responsible for protecting the kid against himself. This is a nasty left-handed pitcher. I mean, would he punch out 16 guys?
Yeah.
This is somebody who obviously has a long pro career ahead of him. I also will tell you, Dibs, that I don't think we throw enough, and it doesn't necessarily. We pitch too much and we don't throw enough. I don't know what he's built for. I don't know what his highest pitch total was. So if you're 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, now all of a sudden you're 156 in the most high leverage situation and game that you've ever pitched in, that's not going to be good for your arm. So that said, I'm also not going to judge or condemn when I don't know the intricacies of the process of what it took to get him to 156. Nolan Ryan threw a 235 pitch, extra inning, complete game. I want to say no hitter or one hitter. And I don't think he dealt with an arm injury his entire life, or anything significant, I should say, at least. I'm sure there's plenty of soreness. And so some guys are just built for it. That said, from like a youth travel ball, level, I wouldn't even think of it. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
You get to that. We're at a point where we just get to the 80, 85 pitch wise is done. That's it. That's the absolute max. And I won't even do that. There's probably only 2 or 3 on our kids on the team I'm currently coaching right now that I would even think about doing that with, because they're trained to do that. Whereas everybody else, and we have every one of our kids pitches, but most of our kids are trained to up to about 50 pitches. And then it's just like, nah, that's it. That's enough. Now we can stretch them out to 60, and then you build that up to get to that 85 pitch smart. If you look at the pitch smart, USA Baseball does a really good job with recommendations, and they have a pitch smart recommendation chart that I would encourage any youth travel ball coach or little league coach to adhere to. And they've done a lot of research with this. I mean, one of the things, the shocking discoveries, that and don't specifically quote me on this, but my cousin happens to be on the board of USA Baseball as well. And John Gall, Stanford legend, all-time Pac-12 hits leader. But one of the things for all these years, we thought curveballs were so awful for the arm. Well, they're saying, like, if thrown with proper technique in a proper way, like, it doesn't matter if you're throwing a fastball or a curveball. It's the amount of pitches that actually is the issue when it comes to arm care at a younger age. So, for all these years, like, don't throw a curveball, you're going to wreck your arm. Where it's like, no, that's actually not the case after, a bunch of studies that have been done.
Eric Byrnes with us here, Willard and Dibs, 95.7 The Game. Eric, going back to original comments where you said, look, you're kind of done with who's to blame in the whole A's situation. But I do wonder this. With all those fans coming to Oakland tonight, if you had a chance to address them, let's say someone gave you a wireless mic on the field, what would you say to them?
Thank you. Thank you for the years that I got to spend playing there. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the drums. Thank you for I know I hit some rough patches along the way. Thank you for sticking behind me through all the ups and all the downs. I would encourage them to always be A's fans, no matter where they end up playing. And as much as, we think that it's the city and everything else, and I do. I think there is something that's very special about Oakland, and there's a little chip on our shoulders that I think we all had and we all played with, being playing at the Coliseum, and we took great pride in that. But overall, this team and organization is gonna go on, and let's enjoy the time now and embrace whatever the future comes. I also would say that what they're doing here tonight is it's making an impact, and it's making a point and spreading a message that, look, this isn't about us. You guys, if you want to move the team because of the stadium issue, if you want to move the team because you don't think it's financially feasible here to have two teams in the Bay Area, fine. But it is not on us, period. And I couldn't agree more with them, because it's that fan base is strong as could be. I'll reiterate it again. I always said it when I played. We have the best 12,000 fans in all of baseball, and I promise you, there's going to be 12,000 and even some more out there tonight.
Eric, great stuff, man. It's always great to get your energy. And again, nofilter.net tonight. You'll be there as all of this unfolds. So thanks so much, man.
Mark, thanks, man. Dibs, always good hearing your voice, dude.
Right on, brother. And thank you for the shirtless weather reports when you dive in the snow. It makes me feel really good when I'm at home with my slippers on.
I love it. I'll keep them coming then.
Yeah, and good job getting Will Clark to loosen up, man.
Yeah, every Tuesday. Normally, every Tuesday, Deuce is Wild. If you haven't seen that, check that out on No Filter. It's some of the most entertaining content, authentic, real, raw analysis you'll ever see. It is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Eric, thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he goes, Eric Byrnes.